Mrs. Lilly is Silly, Chapter 6. The Truth About Mr. Docker. Mrs. Lilly was really proud of us for the scoop we got from Miss LaGrange. Great work, you two, she said. Now go out there and get us another story like that. Will do, Chief, Andrea said. We were slinking down the hall like secret agents again. After a few minutes, we got tired of slinking, but we bumped into Mr. Docker, our science teacher. He was coming out of the bathroom. We're doing interviews for the school paper, Andrea said. Can you tell us something about yourself that nobody else knows? Said Mr. Docker. Let me think. Like maybe you have 2 wives, I suggested, or you saw Elvis in Soup? No, nothing like that, Mr. Docker said. I guess I lead a pretty dull life. It's just work, work, work all the time. It didn't seem like we were getting anywhere with Mr. Docker. He was boring. What do you do when you're not working? Asked Andrea. Oh, my wife and I like to exercise together, he told us. We go running every Saturday. I even won a race last week. Really, Andrea said, writing it all down in her pad. That's exciting. Did your wife run in the race too? I asked. Oh, yes, said Mr. Docker. She did very well. She came in 3rd place. We need to make sure we have all the facts right, I said. So you ran in a race over the weekend. You came in 1st and your wife came in 3rd. Is that right? Yes, said Mr. Docker. We even got free t-shirts. Great, I said. Thanks for giving us that interview. Mr. Docker went to the science room. Andrea and I rushed back to our classroom. Isn't it exciting that Mr. Docker won a race over the weekend, Arlo? Andrea said. This is going to make a great article for the paper. No, it won't, I said. The story is boring. I have better stories to write. When we got to our classroom, Mrs. Lilly was at the computer working on the elementary century. I told her we had another big scoop, and she said it would be okay if I typed the headline on the computer by myself, so I typed this. Mr. Docker beats his wife. You can't write that, Arlo, Andrea said. What a horrible thing to say. Mr. Docker doesn't beat his wife. He does too, I said. They were in a race. He won, and she came in 3rd, so he beat her. It's right there in your notes. Mrs. Lilly asked Andrea, what do you say? Andrea looked at Mrs. Lilly. Mrs. Lilly looked at me. I looked at Mrs. Lilly. Mrs. Lilly looked at Andrea. We were all looking at each other. You could have heard a pin drop if any of us had been holding pins, but why would anybody bring pins to school? That would be weird. This is front page news, Mrs. Lilly said. Great job, AJ. You are a natural reporter. Thank you, I said. I looked at Andrea and stuck my tongue out.